Now, this all boils down to, do the American people deserve to know if their former vice president, while in office, used the office to enrich his family? I don't know how many people would answer no to that question. So this is the real crux of the matter. Nobody wants to talk about that. You had the media talking about, using the transcript to say the favor that he asked for was to look into Hunter Biden. We know that's not the case. He wanted to look into Ukraine and election meddling in 2016. So the narrative seemed to go all over. And it looks like what the media is trying to do is latch onto anything. Now it's Rudy Giuliani. They want to subpoena Rudy Giuliani because they're trying to convince the people, keep this somewhat confusing, and turn, public opinion towards impeachment. And that's what they're trying to do. And, the quid pro quo thing fell apart, so then they had to latch onto something new. So we keep going through all this. It's going to be interesting to see when Michael Atkinson sits in front of the House Judiciary Committee on Friday to see what questions the Republicans ask Michael Atkinson. I don't know how this whistleblower complaint ever was filed. It never reached the urgent concern statute, which dealt with intel community issues. This was not an intel community issue. Also, it had to be about classified information. None of this was about classified information. So it never reached that statute to begin with. So Sean Davis is reporting. I'd like some clarification on that. When did this change? When did whistleblowers be able to file hearsay complaints and so on? There's a lot of questions here. None of them are being answered, and the media is fighting this out for a narrative to convince people, the people at large, to impeach Donald Trump.
Right. And by the way, you mentioned campaign finance law violations. The Department of Justice already investigated this. The Inspector General of the intelligence community referred that to the Department of Justice, and the Department of Justice found no campaign finance law violations. So again, another narrative of the Democrats debunked. But the fact is, if you look at what Congressman Schiff said this weekend, he said this. He made these comments that we just showed on the screen, where he said the president tried to coerce a foreign nation to fabricate allegations against his political opponent. Schiff is not changing his narrative based on the truth. He's not changing his narrative based on facts that are surfacing and
Liz,
real information that we're learning.
Surprised?
He's sticking to lies.
Are you surprised? I mean, I'm still waiting for the proof he has of Russian collusion. I mean, he never took that back. He said he actually has proof of Russian collusion. Are you surprised? He doesn't adhere to reality? I mean, this is kind of their MO. I mean, they don't really have much credibility left. The American people are just not buying it. It doesn't look very good either. And this drumbeat for impeachment is really, like I had said, to turn public opinion, which is starting to turn more towards impeachment. This is what they're looking for. This is why they keep beating that drum. And this is exactly what they want to happen. Is there a crime here? No, there was no crime. A lot of people continually say that, this might have been unethical or indecent. Again, I'd like them to answer the question. Do the American people have a right to know if Joe Biden, while in office, used the office to enrich his family? Again, they keep calling him a political opponent, a candidate. He's not just those things. He's a former vice president of the United States of America. So they keep reducing this to things because they don't want people to look into Joe Biden at all.